Hello and welcome to UC Today. I'm Tom Wright and I'm delighted to be joined by Philippe from Intermedia. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey Tom, thanks
It's great
for
to have
having
you.
us.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be talking about the channel today, but I think a good place to start would be if you could just give us a quick introduction to Intermedia and talk through some of the things that differentiates you in the market.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, Intermedia is a partner first company, so we service about 500,000 UCaaS line. That's Unified Comms as a Service lines globally. So it's a global company, global presence. It's all our own product, and it's been developed and backed by our 5.9 uptime SLA. You might not know that about 40% of our staff, of our employees, are in R&D. So that reflects the dedication and focus of our product around innovation, security, and reliability. And we take pride of that. So because we've developed our own proprietary cloud solutions, we have then better control of the roadmap. And we can ensure that we can adapt our solution to all the global regions that we serve, like the UK, for instance, which I look after. But what is also interesting is outside of comms, we also, maybe people don't know, we're the largest Microsoft Exchange provider outside of Microsoft, of course. So we can also provide connected workspace like business email, archiving, file sharing, backup, that can nicely complement our comms solutions.
Okay, great. Thanks for that, Philippe. So let's move on to talk about kind of the core conversation now, which is the channel. I wonder if you could set the scene a bit and talk through some of the biggest challenges that MSPs and resellers are sort of coming across as they're trying to sell comms at the moment.
Sure, yeah. So we see big saturation market in terms of it's mostly basic hosted telephony that we see, right? So people tend to send mostly the same telephony solutions, so they tend to compete on price. But few MSP, sell the full UCaaS solution that covers voice, video, instant messaging, customer analytics, file sharing, that kind of thing. So the benefits of having a UCaaS solution is that it provides an intuitive and consistent user experience, an interface that enables employee productivity and collaboration for an increasing mobile and remote workforce. So that will allow for the user to use things like a desk phone, a mobile phone, everybody's got one these days, but also maybe like a cell phone, a web browser from a computer like WebRTC. So what is important about unified comms is we see that as a growing market. So if you look at, there's about 450 million business telephony lines worldwide. Only about 5% are business telephony users are UCaaS users, right, using the full suite of applications. So we see that number to grow in an accelerated rate. And that means that we can take advantage of hybrid workforce shift, people working in a, sometimes in the office, sometimes in the office, sometimes at about, and so on. And for partners, that means they can move from a transaction business, we're more like selling capex, into building a recurring revenue stream. So the famous MR. So that means that they can also have control over growth and profitability of the business by creating an administrative business. They can also, with us, they can also retain and improve a direct customer relationship, so they can keep the customer contract. And it also means that if you've got existing customers or they want to acquire new customers, because it's cloud, it's very easy to create like a proof of concept to simplify the deployment. So like that you can give it a trial and hopefully people like it and keep it. And that's down to what happens here with us. And there's also another interesting, if you're in the UK, there's also possibly the ISDN switch off in 2025, which I'm sure most of our partners are aware, but unfortunately many of our end users are not yet, at least. So it's definitely we need to do more work around this. So definitely lots of opportunities for our partners and some challenge on the way, of course.
Yes, there's a lot to think about there. And I wonder now if we could bring in the customer, the end user business. So what are you seeing businesses demand of their channel partners at the moment?
Good question. So what we've seen with the pandemic that we had, thankfully it's over, it's been pushed into having point solutions. So we've seen customers chose different vendors for the telephony, for voice, but also contact center, things like file sharing, video. And what the customers now want is an integrated solution that's simple to use, yet feature rich. So they can connect, collaborate, take care of the customers from wherever they work, right? So our specific client communication solution has been praised by PC Magazine for its functionality and simplicity. We've been named Best VoIP Client Communication Solution for Business, and that's important that it's easy to use, right? Because if it's not easy to use, obviously employees, make no use of it. But it's also important for partners as well, so it's easy to support and minimize the headcount that we need to keep the customers happy.
So there are lots of challenges and opportunities out in the market for partners at the moment. If you were to wrap this all together, I wonder if you could just talk through some advice you'd give to MSPs for them to be successful in the market.
Sure. I think what's important is that they need to select a vendor that will work for them, work for you. You don't want to make sure that there's no upfront commitment or rebate. I would avoid the sales agent model where you lose control, where partners lose control of their customers. But instead make sure that they choose a vendor that will 100% works with partners such as Intermedia. Also, someone who can help you and your customer scale as their business grows, with a global presence, again, such as Intermedia. So if they've got multinational companies that we look after, they can make sure that they can have a presence and be able to expand in these different regions. I think I touched on it before. You also want to choose a solution. So beside the vendor, you also want to choose a solution that's easy to sell and support. So typically, our partners love the simplicity of our offer. It's an intuitive user interface, simple user licensing, easy to quote, easy to deploy, and all the provisioning and monitoring is done through a single partner portal. So they also like all the resources that we have, the tools that we give either before, during, and after the sale. Things like training, sales, marketing, billing, onboarding, 24/7 support. And all of this combined help them capture more than fair share of this booming cloud communications market that we're talking about.
Okay, great. I've just got a couple more questions for you, Philippe, both about Intermedia's channel strategy. So to start with, I wonder if you could talk through how the channel strategy has evolved over recent times.
Sure. I mean, Intermedia has always been a partner-first company, and we have no plans to change this. So if you look globally, approximately 85% of our revenue comes from the channel. And the UK, it's 100% through channel, through indirect channel. So we don't compete with our partners, but instead we work for you or for our partners to win deals. So we can run demos, we can help with RFP responses, we can provide the onboarding for Connect Center, free and of charge implementation. That's a huge saving partners, but also means that we ensure the quality of implementation and obviously back to keeping the customers happy.
Great. Okay. My last question, Philippe. I wonder if you could look to the rest of this year. I wonder if you could talk through how we might expect to see Intermedia's strategy evolve in terms of the channel.
Sure. I mean, Intermedia has had huge success with recruiting large telephony and managed print vendors in North America. So maybe people like Pacific Office Automation, so managed print partner, Harbor Networks, which did Mitel, Showtel, Datafox, Avaya, Portalisis, Mitel, Loflum, and other major print vendors. So in the UK, we're also recruiting partners who want to offer an advanced solution that can offer both unified comms and contact center solutions as one platform that's incredibly asked by customers. And so they want to be able to differentiate themselves from other telephony-only providers. As a result, we're getting recognition in the UK through numerous awards such as UC Today's UCaaS Provider of the Year, which we are thankful for. And we look forward to growing our partnerships and presence in 2023 and beyond, and the UK and elsewhere.
Great, Philippe. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been great talking to you and hearing about Intermedia's channel strategy.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and a share on social media, and we'll see you next time.